Perfectly acceptable, open, obviously open to the public online.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion to authorize disposal of the used police vehicles via the online auction and declare a unit number that doesn't have a number anymore.
27.
27 as worthless and of no value.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 4-0. Excellent. Item F, consider approval of special services agreement for attorney Eric Neff. I believe this is in regarding possible conflict as well as a specialized attorney to work outside the boundaries. I don't know if this will actually cost extra money. I believe that if our attorney was doing it, he'd probably bill us. So we're finding another attorney to bill it that would be a better match. Is that the basic genesis of this? Which, Mr. Cook?
The money will be neutral, of course.
Correct, that's right.
It'll be cash neutral, yeah.
It wouldn't be anything extra. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement and authorize town council president to sign.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. 4-0. I'd also, okay, about bringing up the officer, the other officer, retired officer, would now be a good time, or we want to wait until reports of correspondence?
As you're the president of the town council, if you determine now is a good time, I would think we could do it.
All right, since it's on my mind, I would like to bring that item up. And we also have an officer retiring, and with the officer with the SRO position that we just approved, we'd like to begin kind of an emergency hiring looking process, so we can begin to look for those officers so they would be ready to go at both the retirement as well as the new school year. Is there a, I'll with that?
You need a motion to make that
I would,
motion.
we don't have a motion in a second.
Authorize hiring of 2 police officers to replace the retiring officer and the created SRO officer.
I'll second.
Excellent. All in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Item 10, reports and correspondence. Ms. Clerk Treasurer.
I only have a few items. The events group has planned quite a few activities upcoming this summer. The first one I know Paul and Heather worked quite a bit on, which is cruising into the summer. So anyone that is into the car scene, on June 1st at Michael's, they're hosting an event from 12 to 2, where you can just kind of bring your car or check out different cars. It's a place to kind of relax and talk cars. So thanks guys for kind of getting that one up and running. I think it's been a while since we've done a car show for the town. We've also planned 2 Words on Wood activities. Our first one was held at 9585 and it was an excellent turnout, so we planned another one. Again at 9585, adults only. That one will be held on June 26th from 6 to 9 p.m. And then we decided to do a Words on Wood Kids Edition. This one will be for kids any ages, held at Civic Park on Saturday, June 29th from 10 to noon. So we're just kind of putting a fun little spin on that one. And then lastly, anyone who is following Mission 1 is working to provide backpacks filled with new socks, t-shirts, underwear, hygiene products, etc. for homeless veterans, both men and women. And this will go across the state of Indiana. So our office, the clerk treasurer's office, is a collection site on behalf of Mission 1. So anybody who would like to make a donation, there's just a box in the office. Go ahead and drop that off, and then I will be bringing it to their first annual charity ride that's being held at the American Legion in Cedar Lake on July 27th. So just wanted to share a couple of those items. Other than that, Steve and I will start working on budget season sooner than later. So that's upcoming.
month of April 2019, the St. John Fire Department responded to a total of 170 requests for assistance. 133 within our incorporated limits of St. John, 28 within the unincorporated limits of St. John Township, which we heard about tonight. And there were 9 calls in District 3, which is all other destinations, including mutual aid. Our mutual aid services went to Cherville Fire and EMS, Cedar Lake Fire and EMS, and Lake Hills Fire and EMS. Monday night activities for the fire department during April included April 1st as a monthly business meeting for the volunteer division. On April 8th, members participated in a hands-on review of various small tools that are found in all response vehicles. It's very difficult to stay familiar with all of the equipment that we are required to use and use it successfully without a regular routine of review and skills evaluations for each responder. An additional assignment for that evening involved an accurate inventory of all the firefighting hose that is currently carried on the response vehicles and or stored in the fire station and the training site. There's a grand total of greater than 15,000 feet of hose that has to be tested every year. April 15th, there was an EMS in-service that offered a review of protocols and principles applied to the treatment of injured subjects at a mass casualty incident. April 22nd, members participated in an apparatus pre-plan which depicted a scenario of an active fire in an individual unit on the top floor of Park Place in the gates. We didn't make that up because we did have a fire in an individual unit on the top floor of the gates within the last 6 weeks. And so that was our wake-up call. April 29th was a work night at the firehouse so we could change all of the filters and exhaust system for exhaust evacuation system in the station. And just to explain the training that Steve alluded to before, annually we work with St. Anthony's Hospital, who is our medical direction, and they have a setup where we host the scenario that's for all doctors that are student doctors, residents at the hospital, and they come out and they join the environment of public safety that they lots of times don't see. We have about 5 different departments to go together. We had 3 ambulances, one from ours, one from Lake Hills, one from Cherville, and I had 4 from Crown Point. And these doctors go in the back of the ambulance, and we put a mannequin there, and they have to try to start an IV while they're trucking down the road and bouncing around. The mannequin that we had in the squad car, we took the windshield out, and from time to time, if a patient is, or a victim is in a car and we can't get them out right away, and we can't breathe, we have to take the windshield out, get up on the hood, and go down through, and so they had to do that outside too. We did some other things, and it was really good. It worked out good the first time, it worked out even better this time, and we had a great turnout. It was just a coincidence that the state fire marshal, who just spot visits as he's out and about, happened to come in, and was very, very, very happy to see that kind of training going on between not only our department but the other departments that are involved as they come.
Chief Green?
From April 1st, 2019 through April 30th, 2019, the members of the St. John Police Department logged 19,937 miles and responded to 566 law incidents. The investigations in these incidents led to 21 arrests, 34 charges being filed. There were 339 traffic citations issued along with 290 written warnings, totaling 629 citations for the month. Vehicle thefts totaled $24,500. Other thefts totaled $14,397, and recovered property was $9,259. We had 2 pretty serious accidents along Route 41. One in front, actually both of them were right in front of Alsip. One turned out several days later to be a fatality. So again, I'd recommend anybody that's driving on 41, please stay in the right lane. A lot of people turn left out of that left lane, and a lot of times either get rear-ended or T-boned as other vehicles are going the other direction. We had several special events in the last couple of weeks. We've run lockdown drills at Clark and Coling this morning. We ran a drug safety awareness program Officer Zuzich runs annually at St. John Evangelist School over the last 2 days. And we had a very serious suicidal subject with a knife about a week ago, where officers Brett Seidenbender, Officer Art Sandacre, and Officer Shane Adams responded, and they were able to deal with that particular individual who was very volatile with a knife. And they took their time, they used their experience, and they were able to get the individual to put the knife down, and they were able to take that individual to the medical assistance that he needed. We also are very thankful and grateful to Texas Roadhouse and Target. They reached out to us for praise and thanks for what we do and provided us food, Target 3 times in the last week. So thank you very much to both of them.
Thank you, Chief. Tricia, did you have anything?
Oh, I did, yes. You know, I know you mentioned that we had a retiring officer, and he's here today, so I just wanted to thank you for both of you for this. You've been here almost 30 years. How long have you been here?
I've been in St. John 29, and I was an officer for 8 years before I came there, so I got 37 years old.
Congratulations.
You were my first pullover. You pulled me over.
Yes, I did. Did you give her a ticket? I didn't even know who she was when I stopped.
Right.
All of a sudden, I got a phone call. No, she was real nice to me. I gave her a warning.
Go back to Donna's records.
I did. He gave me a warning.
He was waiting for me on Knickerbocker twice. Crimes committed by the town attorneys. Just follow the law.
Thank you.
He's a
Now a little
behind the
nomination.
car.
All right, where do we go? All right, Mr. Kell. That's Chief.
Mr. Panzik, I think you're in the back of the room. If you have any questions about the budget, I'd be happy to meet with you and show you my budget.
Mr. Kell.
Just a couple things here for the benefit of everybody here in the town council. Once again, we have an organization known as Sleep in Heavenly Peace. What they do is they build bunk beds for the homeless and things like that, and the shelters and what have you. They are going to be doing their event this year in the Kmart parking lot. They secured the permission of the owner of Kmart. And it's going to be on June 15th from 11 to 4. Typically, our fire department does participate in this. They actually did it at our fire station last time, so it's really nice. I just want everybody to be aware of that. And also to take this opportunity to ask Paul if he could please get a special event permit for the car show, so we can distribute it among everybody. Just in case, please need, just so they're aware, if we need barricades from Public Works. We do have that process, Paul, so I kind of just heard about it. I'm like, that kind of would rise to the level where everybody should know, so.
Sorry.
I'll call you.
Also, Beth didn't tell you about the special
I
event.
told on that. I was trying to give you a break.
There's no charge. It just gets circulated amongst myself and the department head, so everybody knows that, hey, this is going on. Like the church needs barricades and picnic tables, and so it just allows us a chance to help everybody out and we know what they're doing. Also, the EDC asked if they made a request tonight and asked me to bring it to the town council. They would like to recommend to you all that they do a comprehensive study of the 231 corridor as their next project. And specifically, a land use study that would include perhaps restructuring the TIF districts in that corridor. Phase 1 of that would start at Klein Avenue and go to US 41. That would be the first one. Phase 2 then could go west of US 41. Phase 3 we could go up Calumet. It's just, they've kind of identified that as one of the next big potential growth areas, and they'd really like to take a look at it. And they asked me to bring forward a request of you a $10,000 budget for professional services. Perhaps land use planner, maybe some traffic engineer, you know, things of that nature that they may need. And I didn't know that there would necessarily be a problem with that, and I told them I'd bring that forward. That's the project they've recommended.
The EDC is aware that the corner of the southeast corner is not going to be anything but what it is, right?
the EDC is definitely aware of that. They're also aware that US 231 is a state highway. However, they're concerned more about the land use aspect around that, which the town does have authority over. And obviously, we do work with NDOT very well. So, and again, this is kind of a 10,000-foot look at that corridor. We know what NDOT has planned at Klein and 231. They're going to build a multi-lane roundabout at that intersection. That was at the request of Mr. DeVito. He likes roundabouts, he was telling me, so.
Just, again, just so everybody's clear, that anything that's done on the 231 corridor does not include that corner, because it's land set aside for a natural preserve. And if anybody even thinks for 1 minute that we're gonna develop that, you're gonna have a lot of people knocking on your door.
I was told by the DNR officer that it's irreplaceable.
It's like the Mona Lisa.
Compared it to the Mona Lisa, that it's that valuable to the DNR. So you're right, Mike, there will be nothing ever there. But anyway, the EDC would like to take on that task, and that's beneficial for a couple reasons. Number one, we kind of have a corridor study there. That's logical. We have the commercial property. There's a lot of annexation that would take place there. The state's doing the intersection of Klein. We're looking at Parrish. We just rebuilt Parrish. So, you know, they want to really look at the land use aspect of it and the TIF possibilities, quite honestly.
I guess my comment would be, since there's going to be some development on Klein already, and there's already going to be some development on the other end by the high school, I'm concerned about spending money on traffic studies when we already have a good traffic study that we've done. And I would assume, since those projects are state projects or county projects, there's probably some road studies, traffic studies that have been for those, so they can look at that as opposed to bringing in new, fresh studies.
Well, I think I specifically said this is not a traffic study. This would be a land use plan.
But
I thought you said-
you did say it did include a possible traffic study.
No, I said possibly if they needed an engineer or something to look at a small impact of an area, but this is more of a land use plan. They want to look at like how the property could be developed around the corridor, definitely not the traffic road area. We do have studies like that, so they don't want to waste hardly any money on anything like that. They're just looking for a little bit of money to employ a professional, you know, to help them along. So they asked if I would bring that forward to you all.
Is there any interest tonight on that?
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, they've come with a list of things they would like to accomplish, and I don't think we've really given them any tasks.
Not many.
Right.
I mean, they do some website. I think that's I'm
So I'd be in
super
favor of that.
favor for it. So is there a motion?
Make that motion to authorize the land use plan by the EDC, not to exceed $10,000.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries there. Mr. Coe, anything else?
No, that's all for tonight.
We'll start with council comments.
I have one thing, Mr. President. In lieu of the police department's car situation, I would like to make a motion to purchase of 2 squad cars.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Mark, Mr. President, just so everybody's aware, we are going to need to purchase these cars outside of the 275 account. I'm going to have to go to the capital, one of our capital funds. Everybody's good with that. I just want that on record.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mike, Mr. Forbes?
No, I'm good.
I do, I actually have 2 things. One would be, I'm concerned, and I guess it's kind of a follow-up on one of the comments that was made about a waiver that was given to one of the town council members, and as far as the licensing fee, and I'm not arguing what the licensing fee is or isn't, because I don't know all the details there, but I do not believe that putting a town employee in charge of making the decision whether to give a waiver to a councilman on any fees, I think is not a very good policy of your program. And I think that's something that I think we need to look at and address.